In the heart of the Pacific Northwest, Mount Rainier stands as a sentinel, its massive form dominating the horizon for miles around. Rising over 14,000 feet, it is the tallest peak in Washington state, a beacon visible from bustling cities, quiet towns, and wild forests alike. For generations, it has inspired awe and reverence, its snow-capped summit gleaming in the morning light, a symbol of both beauty and mystery. Yet beneath this serene and majestic exterior lies a powerful force of nature, a stratovolcano shaped by ancient eruptions and shifting tectonic plates. Its slopes are draped in glaciers, but deep within, molten rock and pressurized gases remind us that Rainier is not just a mountain, but a living, breathing geological entity. It is both breathtaking and, at times, quietly menacing. For the millions who live in its shadow, Mount Rainier is a constant companion, part of daily life, a backdrop to memories and milestones. But while it appears calm and unchanging, scientists know that its tranquility is only surface deep. Hidden beneath the forests and snowfields is a reservoir of energy, capable of reshaping the land in an instant. In July 2025, subtle signs began to emerge that Rainier was stirring. There was no dramatic eruption, no billowing ash cloud, just a series of persistent, almost imperceptible tremors. These tiny earthquakes, felt only by sensitive instruments, hinted at changes deep within the mountain's core. The earth seemed to whisper, sending signals that something was shifting below. News of these mysterious tremors spread rapidly, capturing the attention of local communities and the wider world. People watched anxiously, wondering what these subtle movements might mean. Was the mountain simply restless, or was it warning of something more significant to come? The uncertainty sparked both concern and fascination, as everyone waited for answers. Was this the beginning of a new chapter in Rainier's long and dramatic history? Or just another reminder of the mountain's ever-present vitality? For hikers, residents, and scientists alike, the questions loomed as large as the mountain itself. The whispers of the giant were impossible to ignore. To truly understand what was happening, experts turned to science. Seismologists, volcanologists, and geologists worked together, deploying sensitive instruments and analyzing data. They looked beyond the headlines, searching for patterns and clues in the mountain's subtle signals. Their mission, to interpret the language of the earth and to keep communities safe. This is the unfolding story of a living geological system, one that is constantly evolving and always teaching us something new. As we learn to listen to Mount Rainier's quiet messages, we deepen our understanding of the forces that shape our world and our place within it. To truly grasp what happened at Mount Rainier, we first need to explore a fascinating geological phenomenon, the earthquake swarm. These events are quite different from the classic image of a single dramatic earthquake that shakes the ground and is followed by a series of aftershocks. Instead, earthquake swarms are made up of many small earthquakes, all occurring in a specific area over a relatively short period of time. There's no single dominant quake that stands out as the main event. Rather, it's a flurry of seismic activity, with each tremor contributing to the overall swarm. These swarms can sometimes be so subtle that people living nearby might not even notice them. The ground may tremble ever so slightly or not at all, but sensitive scientific instruments pick up the constant low-level shaking. The pattern is often gradual. The number of quakes slowly increases, reaches a peak, and then tapers off, sometimes over days, weeks, or even longer. What causes these swarms? In volcanic regions like Mount Rainier, the answer is often the movement of superheated water and gases deep beneath the surface. These fluids travel through networks of cracks and fractures in the rock, building up pressure as they go. As this pressure shifts and finds new pathways, it can trigger a series of tiny slips along underground faults. Each slip is a small earthquake, and together they create the swarm. Importantly, these swarms are usually not caused by magma moving upward, but by the restless movement of water and gas. You might see steam vents or fumaroles on the surface, which are visible signs of this underground activity, but most of the action is hidden far below, where only scientific instruments can detect it. The shifting pressure and movement of fluids can create a chorus of tiny quakes, each one a brief release of energy as the earth adjusts to the changes below. These swarms are a reminder that the ground beneath our feet is constantly in motion, even when we can't feel it. Most of these earthquakes are so faint that only the most sensitive seismographs can detect them. Scientists rely on a network of these instruments to monitor the mountain's every move, tracking the swarms in real time. It's important to remember that earthquake swarms are a natural part of a volcano's life. they don't necessarily mean an eruption is coming. Instead, they show us that the system is active and dynamic, always changing beneath the surface. By studying these swarms, scientists can gain valuable insights into the hidden processes shaping our planet. Each tremor is a clue, helping researchers piece together the story of what's happening deep below Mount Rainier and other volcanoes around the world. The July 2025 seismic swarm at Mount Rainier began with little fanfare, almost as if the mountain was quietly stretching beneath the cover of darkness. There were no dramatic rumbles or visible signs, just a subtle stirring deep within the earth hidden from the eyes of those still asleep in the shadow of the volcano. Before dawn on July 8th, as the world above remained calm and silent, a different story was unfolding far below the surface. Suddenly, seismic instruments across the region began to light up with activity. Up to 40 earthquakes per hour were recorded beneath Rainier's summit, a dramatic spike that caught the attention of scientists monitoring the volcano. The instruments captured a flurry of jagged lines, each one representing a tiny jolt in the earth, a signal from the restless mountain below. Over the course of 3 weeks, more than 1,000 earthquakes were officially located by monitoring networks. In reality, the true number was even higher, as countless smaller tremors, too faint to be precisely pinpointed, rippled through the rock. The mountain was alive with motion, its internal symphony playing out in a complex pattern of seismic signals. Despite the sheer number of quakes, the largest event reached only magnitude 2.4, far too weak to be felt by people or to cause any damage to the landscape. For those hiking the trails or camping in the forests, the mountain seemed as peaceful and serene as ever. Most of the earthquakes were even smaller, registering as mere blips on a seismologist's screen. These tiny tremors, invisible and unfelt, were nonetheless important, each one a clue in the ongoing story of Rainier's restless heart. All of these quakes originated between 2 and 6 kilometers beneath the summit, in a narrow zone perched above the main magma chamber. This was not random shaking, but a focused burst of activity in a specific layer of the volcano's interior. The depth and pattern of the swarm pointed to a particular process at work, perhaps the slow movement of fluids or the shifting of ancient faults deep within the mountain. Each quake, no matter how small, was a message from the earth, hinting at the dynamic forces shaping Rainier from within. For scientists, this data was invaluable. The swarm offered crucial clues about the mountain's inner workings, helping researchers piece together the complex puzzle of what lies beneath Rainier's majestic summit. Every tremor, every blip, brought them one step closer to understanding the symphony of seismic signals that define this iconic volcano. Faced with this record-breaking swarm, scientists at the USGS and PNSN quickly analyzed the data. Their verdict: the swarm was not a sign of imminent eruption. Instead, it was caused by the movement of hydrothermal fluids, superheated water, deep within the volcano. The earthquakes were typical volcano-tectonic events, triggered by pressure changes, not magma intrusion. No ground deformation, no unusual gas emissions, and no new hotspots were detected. The absence of these warning signs confirmed the swarm was not magmatic. The volcano alert level stayed at green, normal. The message: Rainier was restless, but not waking up. Careful monitoring and clear communication kept the public informed and reassured. To appreciate July 2025's swarm, we need context. Mount Rainier usually sees about 9 small quakes a month, normal background noise. Previous swarms, like the 2009 event with 120 quakes, were notable but much smaller. The 2025 swarm shattered records, with over 1,000 located events, 8 times larger than any before. The rate of activity, especially the initial burst, was unprecedented. While other swarms have occurred, none matched this one's scale or energy. Long-term monitoring allowed scientists to recognize this as an extraordinary, but still non-eruptive event. Historical data provided the context to interpret the swarm's true significance. When Rainier makes headlines, public safety is the first concern. Despite the dramatic swarm, scientists agreed there was no increased danger to people or the environment. The largest quake was too small and deep to be felt or cause damage. Minor rock and ice falls were due to summer melt, not seismic activity. The park remained open with no alerts or closures. The event was a reminder of Rainier's long-term potential hazard, but not an immediate threat. The message: respect the mountain's power, but don't fear its recent whispers. Our confidence in understanding Rainier comes from relentless monitoring. The USGS and PNSN operate a vast network of seismometers, GPS stations, gas sensors, and cameras around the volcano. Seismometers detect even the tiniest tremors, while GPS stations track minute ground movements. If magma were rising, we'd see ground swelling and gas emissions, none of which occurred during the swarm. Thermal cameras and satellite radar add more layers of data. This multi-parameter approach gives scientists a real-time, comprehensive view of the volcano's health. The July swarm was captured in detail, allowing for rapid, accurate assessment. Robust monitoring ensures any real warning signs will be detected early. The Rainier swarm shows the value of scientific literacy and clear communication. In a world of sensational headlines, reliable updates from the USGS kept the public calm and informed. Regular, transparent reports explained what was happening and what wasn't. This built trust and helped people distinguish between long-term hazards and immediate threats. Being informed means knowing where to get credible information and having a basic preparedness plan. The event was a test of our monitoring and communication systems, and both passed. We can live alongside powerful natural forces, not in fear, but with informed awareness. As the swarm faded, Mount Rainier returned to its quiet watch over the northwest. The lasting message isn't one of doom, but of a living, dynamic planet. The swarm revealed the hidden processes that shape our world, powerful yet often invisible. Thanks to modern science, we can now detect and interpret these subtle signals. We're better equipped than ever to understand and coexist with nature's power. The July 2025 swarm was not a warning, but a conversation. For the first time, we truly listened and found respect, not fear. The mountain whispered, and we understood.